Hello, this is the second LeetCode question, data structures and algorithms question, valid anagram. So yeah, as mentioned in the previous video, hopefully you all watch in sequence. I'll be using a programming language called Java. Non-experienced new programmers are completely welcome. Yeah, no prior knowledge needed. So this is the name of the question, valid anagram. Given two strings S and T, so string is just a word or a sentence or anything, just a bunch of characters. Given two strings S and T, return true if T is an anagram of S and false otherwise. So there's a new word, anagram. You can hover over it. An anagram is a word or phrase formed by rearranging the letters of a different word or phrase using all the original letters exactly once. So to put it as a simpler way, an anagram is if T is an anagram of S, it means they have the same characters. It's just that they are scrambled in different parts. It's like, for example, if a bunch of like cards, it can be stacked nicely as a deck of cards, or you can put it everywhere. Yeah, both of them have the same number and the same like type of cards. It's just the order is different. So for example here, anagram 2A, okay, let's write it out. 2A, 1N, 1G, 1R, 1M. Another one, 1N, 2A, 1G, 1R, 1M. It's the same thing. That's what it means to be an anagram. So return true if T is an anagram of S, else false. So the first thing you have to do when you are trying this kind of like questions is for this website leetcode.io, they have a title, arrays, and hashing. So you will quickly realize that these questions are in this sequence for a reason. First and foremost is because of the difficulty. Secondly is because the thinking is about the same. So the previous question, I mentioned the use of a hash map. The hash map is there to help you speed up the time complexity of the algorithm. Algorithm is just code. So just to recap a bit, hash map is, you can think of it like a dictionary with like a table of contents. The table of contents is the hash map. The key is the title of the page. The value is what page. So instead of flipping through every single page one by one to find the title that you want, you can look at the table of contents. Hey, this title is for this page. Let me just flip to this page. So it will help to reduce the time complexity. So when you have to look through every single page yourself, you have to look through it sequentially. So sequentially will be a time complexity of what is called an O of n. So n is just a variable. N in this case is the length of the string. If you use a hash map, then it can help to speed up the time complexity to O of 1. But in this case, yeah, that is just for the use of the hash map. I will elaborate a bit more later, but in like future videos or something. But there's a difference between like the time complexity of that specific like data structure you use and the time complexity of the whole code. But for now, don't really have to worry about it. Just focus on getting your basics out first. So same thing, class solution is the class contains code for everything for it needed for the class to work. Like class human needs to have a method to breathe. It needs to have arms. It needs to have legs. Yeah. Then each anagram is the method. It takes in two strings S and T because the question says given two strings S and T. Then this is the name of the method, is anagram. So you name it properly so that you won't be confused. Then it returns a type of boolean. Boolean just means false or true. So how do you want to do this question? So the easiest way would be to use two hash maps. One for S and one for T. Then after that, you can compare. Okay, sorry, the easiest way, right, I would say, is to sort. Easiest way. Okay, so you have to understand, right? Okay, for the more experienced programmers, I don't think you should be watching this video, but this is like more for accommodate different levels. So for a new programmer, you should not be obsessed about the time complexity yet. The first thing you have to do is you should try to think of like, hey, at least try to solve the question. Don't care about the time complexity yet. So before you write the code, you have to think about the approaches. So anagram is a word that it is if two strings are anagrams, means they have the same letters, it's just that it's scrambled everywhere. So you can think without thinking of the code, how would I as a human try to solve it? So one possible way would be perhaps I could sort all the letters by ascending order. Then I can look through every letter one by one. So if you sort it, right, it will be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, R. Yes. So you sort it will be like this. A, G, M, N, R. Then you can compare one by one. A is the same as A is the same as A, G is the same as G, M is the same as M, N is the same as N, R is the same as R. Then you can return true. So method one will be sort. So to sort in Java, you do something called collections, called sort. So what do you want to sort? That's the first thing. Yeah, the first thing is what do you want to sort? So S, you sort the string. But wait, there's this word called collections. Collections just means the thing you want to sort has to be a collection. It cannot be just one thing. So string, you cannot sort a string using the collections.sort method in Java. You have to convert it to a array, which is the same as the previous question, which is just this A. You have to convert it to this AN, A, G, R, A, M. This is an array of the characters in the string S. You can do this through a for loop and manually populate the array, but for now, I don't want to overload too much. You can do something called to-char array. Okay, so this will sort it in place, but after that, you don't know how to grab, how to refer to the array. So it's like you scramble the cards, right? You fold it nicely into a deck, and it's there. After that, you go into another room, it's not there. You cannot refer to it because you don't know where is it anymore. Maybe you left it at maybe like you go for a bar, you go to drink at a bar, then you left the cards there. Yeah, nobody knows. So you have to store it in memory as a variable. So first things first, array. So I think okay, store as an array. Array, okay. Let's look at the API documentation. So what does the array, what is the type that return? Character array, is it the array string? It returns a primitive data type array. So you can see this. So for new programmers, if they are not sure, just refer and copy the code needed. So here. So this is the CA for character array. So I will do something like CSA, character array for string S. And then we will do one more thing also. CAT. CAS. CAT. So we will use a for loop here. So previously I mentioned in the previous question, for loop as something called enhanced for loop. Now we will use another type of loop. It's just I don't really know the name. It's just I think I'll just call it an index loop. So what is an index? So here, right, for example here, so the first thing I have to do is, right, to know is index just means like what number is, okay, it's just a number that represents the location of something within something. So to make this more clear, right, A, the index is the location of, okay, the index of A will be what is the location of A relative to the whole string S. So the first character is index is 0 for everything in Java. So this is 0, N is 1, this A is 2, G is 3, R is 4, and then A is 5, M is 6. So index loop is about the same as the enhanced for loop from the previous question. First things first, you need to give the data type of the variable. So for int, then this is the variable name. It can be anything, it can be I, it can be J, it can be whatever. I'll just put IJ. So what number does this variable want to start at? Because you declare as a variable type of int. You start at 0, and then where do you want the for loop to end? J less than T dot length. So for every string, right, there is a method called length that gives you the length of the characters, the length of the string. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So take note, length is not index. It's not the last index number. The last index number for this will be 6. The length is 7. So typically it differs for every programming language, but for this case, Java, index starts with 0. So the last index will always be length minus 1. So this index loop, J starts at 0, J ends when it is less than T dot length. So how do you want to go through this like range of values from 0 to T dot length? J plus plus. So J plus plus means like for every iteration, it will increment J by 1. Or you can do J plus equals 1. So if, so now you need to grab the character out of CAS and CAT, the character of index J out of CAS and CAT. So char. So this is the data type of the what you want to grab. So CAC, CA, character of A, CAS. To grab something out of like a primitive array. So this is a primitive array. We need to do a square bracket. Then you put in the index. Character of S. Yeah, character of S, character of T. So this is why naming is important. My naming can be improved, but it's fine. Every single programmer has different names for it. So if CS is not equals to CT, that is to say, this letter we are comparing is not the same. They return false. Return false. Else at the end, we can return true. So other than that, there's one more edge case. What if the length of S and T are not equal? Then we need to check the lengths of the strings S and T different. So to put a comment is a comment that is just a line of, it's just a line that does not that the code will skip. So to do that, you do a control slash to give it auto, or you can just put slash slash yourself. So you do that through if s dot length is not the same as t dot length. That means they are not there's no way they can be anagram. So return false here. So this, you put it at the start. You check at the very start because if it's not even the same length, there's no point. And once you're satisfied, you can click run. No suitable method found for sort child. Collections.sort. This one is not applicable. Okay. Yeah, let's go through again. Yeah. Let's just paste the code, the problem in here. No suitable method found for collection.sort. Okay, so after you run, there's a slash. Okay. No suitable method found for collections.sort char rate. Just there should be no need to implement it. Okay. Yeah, debugging is part of a process. That's strange. I did your Nico.io just now. Okay, Java. So first thing, if you're not sure, is go to Java API. Then we find the method that we want. Okay, if collections.sort doesn't work, we can use another method. Arrays.sort. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing. So this is done. That's method 1. So method 1 is fine for a new programmer. But as I said, the time complexity will be longer. I'm sure the more experienced programmers, I don't think you'll be watching this because it's like, yeah, but basically sorting it takes a long time to sort. So you can use other methods. So this will be the lower time complexity method. It's just like it's the same thing as because they are the same sub problem first of they are in the same title first of all, arrays and hashing. So you use a hash map. So like here, use 2 hash maps, one for S, one for T, and compare. So yeah, how do you do that? First things first, hash map. You create the 2 hash maps first. So here, character, integer. So this S frac, new hash. I'll explain later after I type it. T frac new hash map. Okay, so there might be a bit of confusion for why here is character, here is an integer, then sometimes you see here is a small letter character. Okay, so a hash map is a data structure. Then data structure, when you create a data structure in Java, right, they will ask you to put something in the, okay, not a data structure. You need, when you want to create, for now, when you want to create a hash map, you need to put a arrow, right? So when you create a hash map, it can accept any type of data, but it needs to know exactly when you create it, like what type of data you want. So for the data it wants, for now you need to know that it has to be a capital letter. It cannot be the lowercase letter. So if you want to know more, right, eventually I will make a full like tutorial on Java on what is like the difference between like a capital letter data type. Or you can call it like a wrapper class, and the difference between a lowercase like word, which is called a primitive data type. But for now, you just need to know if you encounter an error, the first things first, right? Okay, so if you only know like char was just for character, you put in here, you will get an error. You just need to know, hey, I need to Google, I need to find the capital letter of the small letter of the small lowercase word called char. So, okay, so in the here, you need to put the wrapper class of the primitive data type. Okay, it's a bit confusing now, but yeah, I can't explain everything on this. I will try my best, but I've given you this. If you're interested, you will have to go and Google, or you can wait for me to someday do the video. But anyway, I digress. So first thing first, you create the two hash maps. Then after you have to populate it. So I will be using the enhanced for loop from the previous question again. For char. So here, because we are not creating a new hash map, we will use the lowercase one, which is called a primitive data type. For char c in s dot to char array. Because when you use a for loop, like I said previously, you cannot go through it with a for loop. You need to convert it to array or a collection. So an array is a type of collection. Collection means collection, bunch of things. String is just one thing. You cannot go through a string with a for loop. So here, so first things first, extract dot put. So you put a accept two variables, two arguments. First is the key, then the second one is the value. So first things first is the char, is the character. Then now is the frequency. So extract or get or default. So get or default accepts two variables again. The first one is the key, C, else 0. Then you want to put an extra 1 because you see the character again. You repeat this for T. To populate hash maps. Okay. Then you will go through the entry, the two hash maps, and check every key and value. So you do that through or use map.entry. No, I think don't need map.entry. Okay, so there's multiple ways to go to a hash map depending on your preference. If you want to get all the keys, you can use one method. You can use you want all the values, you can use one method. You want all the key and the values together, you can use another method. For now, I'm just gonna get all the keys because that's the only thing necessary for this question. So what is the key? The data type is a character. For char, C in extract dot keys. Is it? No, dot keys I think is Python. So if you're not sure, just search. Actually, yeah, okay, never mind. Get Java, get all keys from hash map. Just search it out. So you can use dot key set. So you can see this. Dot key set is the method to get every character in the key for Java. So now you want to get frequency in the extract to be extract of get C. First things first, you should check is the character C in the hash map, in the F frequency hash map. So if frac dot contains the key C, if frac does not contain the key C, return false. After that, you can be sure now that frac contains the key C. Next, we compare the frequency. So that's the frequency of S. Now we have the frequency of T. If frequency of S is not equals to frequency of T, return false. After you have gone through all this, so you take note, you have to, after you have gone through everything in the for loop, there you can be sure it is an anagram. Return true. So that's method 2. So this is method 2. So I'm going to try to run the code for now. This is method 1. So you take out, you do a control slash again to comment it out so that you won't run into an error. Compile error. Cannot find symbol. So you see here, it cannot find the symbol F frac. So that's because it's not F frac, it's called T frac. So at line 48, I mistakenly put it as F frac. And then try to submit. And yeah, it's done. Hope you all enjoyed this. I'm going slow because I want this to be for everyone. I think that there is enough videos for experienced programmers. I want this to be as friendly as possible. You can put it on 2 times or whatever. The code is in the Notion. Just go if you don't want to watch the video. That's all. Thank you.